Seattle, and you guys have asked me how to land, how to land the 7.4 and how to land the 777. I'm sure I don't fly the 7.3, but I'm guessing it's pretty much about the same thing. Right now we are, about 1,000 feet off the ground, and for me, what it is, it's interesting when you're coming into land. Number one, I'm going to disconnect the autopilot. But when you're flying, a lot of people think that you're looking out the window at the runway and you're looking for the VASI lights, and that's not really what you're looking for. What you're actually doing is flying the crosshairs on the flight director, which I'm doing kind of a sloppy deal of doing right now. I'm going to get that speed back. This is messy. Okay, anyhow, when you're coming in for a landing, it seems like I'm a little bit high right now, but we have plenty of runway since there's no people on board. We'll go ahead and do this. But what it is a lot of times Boeing tells you at 30 feet what you want to do is start to flare the airplane and just slowly arrest the descent, and it'll come in nicely. Let me get back on center line. Looks like I got a big crosswind or something. So you can hear it count down. Watch this. Now pull back.
30, 20.
Hold back, hold it off, hold it off, hold it off, and then boom. And then eventually the airplane will land. So that's what Boeing says at 30 feet. Just go ahead and start to flare, and the airplane will slowly, you're arresting the descent rate, and then the airplane will eventually touch down. That's one way to do it. But I'm going to go back and show you another one of my beautiful approaches here. And show you the way that I do it. And I did it in the 7.4 and the 777, and it works out pretty good. So anyhow, we'll do a reset and get back to you in a second. Okay, so here we just backed it out. Now we're coming in for landing. I don't have auto throttles right now. That's okay. Don't need them. So again, so what it is when you come down, like I said, Boeing always tells people to start the flare at 30 feet. And it has a tendency to kind of throw people off. Like I said, it will work. But I don't even fly my 172 that way. I just bring it right down close to the ground, and then level off, and then push forward in the control. It's a little bit different the way that I do it. But okay, so now what it is, we're coming down, and instead of at 30 feet starting to pull back, what I'm going to do is just drive it all the way down to about 10 feet. And this seems to work out the best. And every time I've flown close to 7.4, yeah, whatever. Disregard that noise.
Glide slow.
It must be wrong. So anyhow, we're coming down. We're a little sloppy
50,
here.
approaching minimums.
50, 40,
30.
They say flare
20.
there. I wait till here. 10. Now pull back, level it off, and then shove forward.
Minimums.
What it has a tendency to do, at least in the longer body airplanes, is because that gear is so far back. Thanks for catching the thrust reversers. What happens is it has a tendency to kind of stop the descent, and then it actually pushes. When you push the nose over, it actually brings that aft gear up a little bit of extra, I guess, to put it that way, and you wind up rolling it on. So again, the difference, Boeing says do it at 30 feet, start at 30, and that works just fine. When you're a new guy flying a big jet, hey, that works. All you're doing is just pitching the nose up a little bit, but you just keep it coming down, and then eventually it touches down land. But if you want to learn the greaser technique, and that's, I drive it all the way down to 10 feet, and then I just arrest the descent rate, and then I shove forward. It's kind of like boom, boom. It's not for very long. It's just stop the descent rate and then shove it forward a little bit, and that's how I roll it on. So anyhow, that's how I figured out. 7.4 you can grease on all day long. Man, that airplane's a nice thing. It's just easy. You don't even know that the airplane's on the runway. The only way you can tell is because the speed brake handle deploys, and that's when you pull off one of those, you're like, wow, man, that's just cool. 777, not as forgiving. You have just one little window of opportunity. So when you do a landing like that, you come down 10 feet, arrest the descent, and then all of a sudden just lightly push forward. If you don't get that greaser landing, then you got to just go ahead and push a little bit more forward pressure and get the thing on, because you do have to land within the touchdown zone. If you're not done within the touchdown zone, go around. So anyhow, that's about it. So that's my technique. Again, even for the 172, and I'm flying that, yeah, you can come down, you can pull back, get the nose up, and then let it plop on. But basically what I'm doing is I'm coming down, stopping the descent, and then shoving forward just a little bit on the control. And I do the same thing in the 172, and I'm able to grease that thing on. So again, 7.3, yeah, I'm sure you're impressed with my beautiful, stellar flying skills in this airplane. So I'm learning. All right. Thanks. See ya.